All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Kim Cardenas, and I am an Arbonne independent consultant. And I am so excited to have you joining us this evening. I want everyone who has joined us to take a moment and pat yourself on the back because each of you have taken precious time out of your evening to learn about good nutrition. And so what we want to tell you is that good nutrition is not what the media, the food manufacturers, the FDA, and even some health and fitness magazines are telling us. What we know and what we want you to know is that if you eat nutritionally dense foods, whole foods, plant foods as the major component of your diet, you will, as an awesome byproduct of good nutrition, lose weight. And if you make this nutritional transformation a lifestyle, you will maintain a healthy body and a healthy body weight. Now, our passion is to educate, empower, and inspire families to live healthy lives. We share our stories, our knowledge, and our experiences so that you can see that you too, you and your families, can also live healthy lives. Now, I want to begin by sharing with you a little bit about my family's nutritional transformation. 3 years ago, my husband and I, and my husband is a physician, and I'll tell you why this is important in just a moment, we decided that we needed a change. We had been living what we thought was a healthy and fit lifestyle for over 10 years. You know, we ate what had been established as a healthy diet. You know, I'm sure you're familiar with the boneless, skinless chicken, the broccoli, and the steamed rice diet. You know, we ate every 3 to 4 hours to keep our metabolism revving, and we drank lots of protein shakes. But yet, every time January came around, we always had 10 to 20 pounds of weight to lose. And more importantly, we thought we should be feeling better. We thought we should be having more energy because of our so-called healthy lifestyle. You know, we had thought that if we dieted harder or exercised more, that we could achieve our goal. And so for 10 years, we made our New Year's resolution to lose, X amount of weight and to exercise more or differently. And we did this for 10 years. So let me share with you, what's the definition of insanity? You know, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So we decided that we needed to come up with a different plan. So we began to research nutrition. And the formula that we kept coming across was your weight, your health, your weight and your health is determined by 80% nutrition, 15% exercise, and 5% genetics. So the point here is that you cannot out-exercise poor nutrition. And if you get your food right and exercise moderately, you can get to where you should be. And I'm talking about your health and your weight. Now, our mantra is change your food, change your life. So the more densely nutritious foods that you eat, the healthier you will be. And when you get your body healthy, you're going to naturally lose excess body weight. And so in our program, what we're talking about is plant-based nutrition. Now, it's not vegan and it's not vegetarian, but we are talking about whole foods, fruits and vegetables. These are what we call densely nutritious foods, being the focus at each meal. And then your meat and your whole grains making up the sides. You know, as we did our research, and our research consisted of many books on nutrition, articles printed in peer-reviewed journals, and information searched out on the web. And here's why I mentioned that my husband is a physician. Because if we were going to share a plan had to be grounded in the facts. You know, facts that were discussed in medically peer-reviewed literature. And so this is what we found with Arbonne's 30 Days to Healthy Living program, that this program is based in science, and this program is based on whole foods, real foods. And in our research, we also were confronted with some other astounding facts about good nutrition. And that is being that it is so much more important what we eat as children that will determine our adult health. And so this is exactly why we encourage you to take your family along with you on this nutritional transformation journey. It's just not about us parents deciding that we need to get healthy and then take our children through the drive-through. This is a family journey. This is about all of us feeling better. And when I talked about being a family journey, this program is for children, for adults, for your parents, your grandparents. These are photographs of my parents and my husband's parents. And you can see that both of our parents have been on this nutritional transformation, each for over 2 years, and they are all in their 70s and are feeling amazing. So not only can your children benefit from this program, you can benefit from this program, but so can your parents and your grandparents. All right, so our program goals basically is good health through good nutrition. What we are going to coach you with is through a transformation to a nutritionally dense lifestyle. In our program, it's simple. What we do is we educate, we empower, and we inspire you to live a healthy life. And, a diet begins and ends. And what we're talking about is a lifestyle. What we're teaching you, we're giving you tools to be able to sustain a healthy lifestyle. And again, our program, it's family friendly. It is designed for everybody. And then I'm going to talk a little bit later about the convenience with Arbonne supplements. Arbonne supplements are not to be used instead of whole nutrition. Arbonne supplements are to be used complementary to a nutritionally dense, clean lifestyle. With Arbonne products, ingredients matter. And if you are going to eat clean or have a clean diet, and clean is the buzzword these days, then your nutritional supplements should also be clean, which means without artificial flavors, artificial colors, artificial sweeteners. And again, this is why we choose Arbonne, because everything with Arbonne is pure, safe, and beneficial. All right, so again, this nutrition plan is for everyone. And the byproducts that you are going to get from this program is going to be, 1, you're going to detoxify your major organs. Number 2, you're going to help prevent chronic disease. You're going to help eliminate long-term medication use. You're going to lose weight and get to your ideal weight. You're going to have a healthier family. And you're going to increase your knowledge about what good nutrition really is. And so I want you to think about this. Our bodies are made of millions of individual living cells, that divide and reproduce themselves constantly. Our tissues are continually turning over. And then as a side note, I always like to bring something in about children. In children, the human body cells are dividing and multiplying more rapidly than they are in our adult years. So the fuel for this cell division in our bodies is found in the food that we eat, the food that we feed our bodies. So these new cells are made of the building blocks from our food and from our drink. So do you want your body to be fueled and made from low nutrition, processed and fast foods? Or do you want your body, your bones, your muscles, your energy to be fueled with healthy, nutritious foods? Think about the gasoline that you put into your car. If you put in the wrong type of gas and you keep putting in the wrong formula, eventually you have to take your car to the shop. And if you keep doing this, eventually you're going to have to junk your car. I'm talking about if you're putting diesel into, a car that takes unleaded, that if you keep doing that, you're going to have to junk your car. Well, with our bodies, we don't have the option, to junk our bodies. So, it's the same scenario when it comes to feeding our body to fueling our bodies. When we continually put in low nutrient foods, chemical laden foods, we end up with low energy and poor health. And again, we don't have the, the choice to, junk our bodies. So we have to take care of our bodies. And one of the ways to do that is with good nutrition. All right, so let's go over some facts about why we need to change the food that we eat. The standard American diet is what the general population eats. And of course, the standard American diet, abbreviated, is SAD. And truly, what we eat, what our general population eats, is sad to say, the amount of nutrients that are found in the food. So 62% of the calories in the standard American diet come from processed foods. And, processed foods is that large category of foods that, comes in a box or a bag and sometimes in a can. And, it has sweeteners added to it. It has salts, it's artificial flavors, artificial colorings. It has oils and chemical preservatives added to it. So again, if it comes in a box, in a bag, or a can, it's generally a processed food. And even if these are labeled organic or all natural, they are still processed. They are not food in its whole natural state. So again, 62% of the standard American diet comes from processed foods. 25% of the calories come from animal products. And when we talk about animal products, I'm talking about meat, eggs, dairy, and fish. With so many processed foods and animal foods in our modern diet, there's hardly any room left over for the good stuff, which is the vegetables, the fruit, the beans, nuts, and seeds. And so only 13% of the standard American diet comes from the good stuff. And what's really sad about that 13% is that around half of that actually comes from white potatoes. And white potatoes is not really, nutritionally dense. There's not really a lot of vitamins and minerals or anything, really good for us in white potatoes. And so, half of the white potatoes comes in the form of potato chips and French fries. And we all know that those are not nutritionally good for us. So, and then again, in the standard American diet, we focus on calories and not the nutrients. And so what we're going to teach you, what we're going to coach you with, is that we're going to turn that around and we're going to focus on nutrients and not on the calories. All right, so again, let's look at a couple more facts about why we need to change the food that we eat. A third of all adults are obese, which means they have a body mass index of greater than 40%. And most of our diseases are related or come to fruition when people are obese. Okay, so let's look at our children. A third of all children are overweight, which means they are on the path toward obesity by the time they reach their teenage and adult years. And so let's look at the major killers of Americans. 40% of people die from heart attack, stroke, and complications from diabetes. All of these diseases are nutritionally related. If we get our nutrition right, we wouldn't have to worry about heart attack, stroke, or complications from diabetes. And then 27% of cancers that 20% of the cancers, that people die of are also related to nutrition. So again, get your food right. Get your food right. And all of these diseases that we, just take for granted that as we get old, we're going to develop these diseases, then they're not going to happen because they are all nutritionally dependent diseases. All right, so let's look at why we eat the way we eat. And this is called the toxic food addiction. You know, what our body truly craves is nutrients, and nutrients that are found in foods that are good for our body, such as fruits, vegetables, beans, nuts, and seeds. But instead of feeding our body densely nutritious foods, we eat, like the hamburgers, the pasta, a lot of processed foods that don't have a lot of vitamins, minerals, or phytonutrients in them. And so when we fill up on those, on the standard American diet, when we fill up on those things, we eat those, but our body is seeking nutrients. So we'll be satisfied for a short amount of time. And then after that food is digested and our body notices that there were no nutrients in that food, we get hungry again because our body is seeking nutrients. If you eat a densely nutritious meal, a meal that has a lot of phytonutrients, a lot of vitamins and minerals, you will find that you are not hungry 2 to 3 hours because you fed in 2 to 3 hours because you fed your body exactly what it needed. And the same thing goes with the sugar addiction. The sugar addiction, is basically the same type of cycle. We eat food that is high in sugar. It tastes good. Our body releases our feel-good hormone, which makes us feel good because we ate a high sugar content dessert or meal. But then, our blood sugar will spike, and then our blood sugar shortly after that crashes, and that's when we have the craving again to have that blood sugar spike. And so then we go through the whole spiral of feeding that sugar addiction, eating something sweet again, or drinking that soda that's going to give us that high, that short amount of feel good, and then we're going to crash again and do it all over again and again. And that's called the sugar addiction cycle. So put that on top of the toxic food addiction where you're not eating enough nutrients, and you can see why we feel as bad as we do as a society. All right, so what are the benefits of plant-based nutrition? Well, number one, plant-based nutrition meets all the nutritional needs of the human body, because God put plants on this earth for us to eat, to nourish our bodies with. And there are thousands and thousands of different plants that we can feed our body with, and then use the complex carbohydrates and our meat as our side. So what we're talking about is your main course being plants, being foods that are densely nutritious and good for your body. And then also when you are focused on plant-based nutrition, you don't get a lot of the disease-promoting components that you find in animal products and refined processed food. And I'm sure you're all aware of the animal products, of all the hormones that that our animals are given to grow them big. All of the antibiotics are given to the animals before they're slaughtered to keep them healthy. And so when those are injected into the animals, then when we eat their meat, we're getting those into our bodies also. And then we've already talked about, what you find in refined and processed foods, the added artificial sugars, the artificial colors, the artificial preservatives, all of the artificials. Our human bodies do not know how to metabolize artificial components. And so when we eat a lot of artificials, our body doesn't know what to do with them. Our body ends up storing those artificial, and they're actually called toxins, those artificial toxins, in our fat. And that's one of the reasons why we have such a difficult time losing weight when we're overweight, is because that fat is protecting our major organs from all the artificials that we have in our body. And then an interesting fact is that 70 to 80% of our immune tissue is in our digestive system. So when you have a healthy digestive system, which comes from eating a whole unprocessed food, you're going to be less susceptible to all those common colds that go around. So your digestive tract has, the biggest majority of your immune tissue. So if you're feeding your body whole foods, real foods with lots of nutrients, you're going to have a very healthy digestive tract. All right, so Plant-based nutrition, again, it's supported by the scientific literature. It is the original nutritional lifestyle. Think back to, 100 years ago, 200 years ago, there were those hunter-gatherers, but really what they hunted when they got the animals, that was a treat. That was, not all the time. What their major meal was, the hunter-gatherers, was the plants. And truly, that is what we need to eat to make up the major component of our diet. And then again, plants are readily available in large quantities all year long for us. And so it's not that we don't have access to them, it's that we have, over the years, gotten away from focusing our meals on plants and focusing our meals on the meat. And so what we're going to help you with in this nutritional transformation is to take that back, where we're going to actually focus the meals on the plants. So with Arbonne's 30 Days to Healthy Living, we're going to help you determine the right combination of products with the right combination of nutrients that it's going to supplement this nutritional transformation lifestyle. And again, Arbonne's products, all of their nutritional products are pure, safe, and beneficial, and they're made for everyone. And that is something that we are so excited to share about Arbonne's products, is that they're as good for your children as they are for you. And so you don't have to worry about, them having anything artificial or any chemical ingredients in them, because they're as good for an adult body as they are a children's body. And then just something I really like to share is that Arbonne has their clinical studies done with their nutritional supplements at the Mayo Clinic. And in their clinical studies, they have found that by supplementing your whole food nutrition diet with Arbonne's nutritional supplements, that there is increased health and increased mental health benefits. All right, so the keys to our program are based on three things. Number one is nutritional density. We're going to have you look at the nutrient content of the food and not the calories. Healthy foods are high nutrient dense foods. And that means they have a lot of micronutrients, which are your vitamins, your minerals, and your phytochemicals. And then the second key to our program is the 80-15-5 rule. 5% of the way you feel, the way you look, and your health is related to genetics. 15% is related to exercise, and 80% is related to nutrition. So get your nutrition right, and the exercise is going to come along with that. You're going to feel good. You're going to want to get out and exercise. And then the third component of our program is the 80 to 90% zone. And this is the core principle. We want 80 to 90% of all your meals to consist of whole, unprocessed plant foods that are free of man-made chemicals and preservatives. So we are going to talk about shopping for organic foods and foods that don't have a lot of preservatives or artificial dyes or artificial sugars in them. And so again, we're going to walk you through where at the end of our 4-week program that you will be in the 80 to 90% zone. So I want to give you a picture of what week 1 looks like in our program. On week 1, this circle represents your plate. And so during week 1, half of your plate will consist of raw vegetables or cooked vegetables, beans, fresh fruit, raw nuts, and seeds. Any combination of those. A quarter of your plate will be meat and dairy, and we do want your meat to be free range and organic, no growth hormones, no steroids, no antibiotics, in the meats that you choose. And then a quarter of your plate will consist of whole grains. We don't want you to look for, the white starchy grains. We want you to look for the whole, less processed grains. And one of the greatest grains that you can eat out there that is so good for your body, that has tons of micronutrients, is called quinoa. And this is something, if you join our program, we're going to give you a lot of information about quinoa and how to incorporate it into your nutritional transformation. So this is what your plate will look like during the first week of our program. And this is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All right, so for your second, your third, and your fourth week, as you can see during your second week, your vegetables, beans, fruits, nuts, and seeds, they take up more of your plate. And then your less of your plate is going to be whole grains, and then a little bit less of your plate is going to be the meat and dairy. Where then when you move into week 3, 3/4 of your plate is going to be the good stuff, and then 1/4 of your plate, you're going to divide that between your meat and dairy and your whole grains. And when you get to week 4, 80 to 90% of your plate is going to be made of the good stuff, which is the vegetables, the beans, the fruits, the nuts, and the seeds. And then 10 to 20% of your plate will be your meat and your dairy and your whole grains. Okay, so this is for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the meal that is most difficult to imagine this way is, of course, your breakfast, because you can imagine eating large portions of vegetables, beans, fruits, nuts, and seeds for lunch or for dinner. But for breakfast, it's hard to conceive that. And so that is where we have you make a densely nutritious protein smoothie. And so it's not just protein powder, because just protein powder is not a meal replacement. But in a blender, if you put a variety of fruits and a variety of vegetables, and what we really like for you to do is put dark leafy greens in there, like your spinach, your kale, your collard greens, and you can mix it up from day to day, because it is an assortment of micronutrients that's really going to get you to your healthiest state. So putting the fruit and then the greens and then adding Arbonne's protein powder to that, and then you can either use water or you can use a coconut milk or something like that. Again, we're staying away from animal products, and blend that up, and that is how you're going to stay in the 80 to 90% zone for your breakfast. If this is all you have for breakfast, and I will certainly tell you, it will fill you up, because when we're talking about drinking a smoothie, we're not talking about 8 ounces. We're talking at least 16 ounces to 20 to 24 ounces in the morning. And there is so much fiber in this densely nutritious protein smoothie that you're going to feel full for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, depending on how much of it you drink. And you're not going to need to eat every 3 to 4 hours to keep your metabolism revving, because what you ate at your breakfast is densely nutritious, has lots of phytochemicals, lots of nutrients, lots of vitamins and minerals. Your body's going to be satisfied because you fed it exactly what it is seeking. All right, so what does your plate look like? And so I'm going to give you a couple visuals on what a plate would look like. If you look on the left side of the screen, we have the right types of food here. There's it looks like a sauteed vegetables, a little bit of quinoa, and a small piece of chicken. Now, those are the right foods, but it's not enough food. So when we're in our program, it's about eating more and not about eating less. It's about eating more of the foods that are good for your body. So here on the right, you can see a plate that's actually where you're living in the 80 to 90% zone. This is one of the recipes that we share with you in our program. This is what we call a taco salad. It has a lot of mixed dark leafy greens. There's carrots, there's cucumbers, there's tomatoes, there's any combination, there's zucchini on here, there's any combination of vegetables on there, a little bit of organic ground beef, and a little bit of salsa on top of it. And that is a meal that is consistently considered to be in the 80 to 90% zone. So success in our program does not come from eating less of the same foods that you are currently eating, which is what is called a diet. And what is the first 3 letters in the word diet? It's die. And that's how you feel when you're on a diet. Diets are not sustainable. You can be on a very strict diet for about 7 days, and then that's all you're going to be able to, deny yourself or restrict yourself from food, because your body craves nutrients, craves food. So if all you're going to do is eat less of poor nutrient food, you're setting yourself up to fail. But in our program, we teach you how to eat large quantities of densely nutritious foods that your body actually can use to reproduce your cells and to give you a good amount of energy every single day. So now I want to talk a little bit about the role of supplements in our program. Now, the core principle in our program is nutrition based on whole foods. Okay, so we're not saying drink a protein smoothie for every meal. Absolutely not. In our program, we're going to show you how to transform your nutrition to eating whole, real foods. But we are going to show you how you can use supplements for convenience, because I know each and every one of you on here is an extremely busy person. We are all busy, busy, busy. And so if we can get lots of nutrients in our bodies in a quick fashion, we're going to do well with that, because we're all going somewhere really quickly, getting up and getting out the door. And this is one of the reasons why we like for you to do the densely nutritious protein smoothie in the morning, because you can make it in under 5 minutes and be out the door. You can make it for your children. In fact, we want you to share your densely nutritious protein smoothies with your children, because think about this. If you're sending your child out the door, and let's say school's still going on, and they're going to school and they've had 2 to 3 servings of fruits and 2 to 3 servings of vegetables, and they've had a protein powder that is made from pea, cranberry, and rice. They've had all of that in the morning. Just think of the amount of nutrients they've had before they go to school, the amount of fiber that they've had, so that they're going to feel full until lunchtime. And their brain is going to be right on target and awake. They're going to be very, very awake and attentive while they're in school, because they fed their body exactly what they needed. So again, with Arbonne supplements, they are to play a role for convenience. So again, I want to stress, protein shakes, just protein powder and water, is not a meal replacement. You're going to get some nutrients in that, but not nearly enough, and you're going to be hungry in 2 to 3 hours. That's, when my husband and I thought we were living a healthy, lifestyle, and we were shaking up the protein with the water and drinking that, and yeah, we were hungry in 2 to 3 hours. We had to eat every 2 to 3 hours to so-called keep our metabolism revving, because we were not feeding our body enough nutrients. So when you're making the protein smoothies in the morning, you're adding vegetables and fruit, the protein powder, and some fiber boost to it. Your body's going to feel full longer, and you're feeding your body the nutrients that it needs. So again, your supplements should be complementary to whole foods, because that's the type of nutrition we're talking about. And with Arbonne's protein, and all of Arbonne's products are plant-based. So again, you don't want to choose a protein powder that is an animal product when you're trying to move your nutrition to a plant-based nutritional transformation. And then again, your supplements should also abide by the same principles that applies to your whole food. So if we are trying to eat clean, which means eating whole, unprocessed foods that don't have a lot of added chemicals, preservatives, pesticides, and all of that, then your supplements should also be clean also. And that's where Arbonne supplements come in, because Arbonne supplements are clean supplements. There are no artificial sugars, no artificial colors, no artificial flavors. Again, they're going to be all good for you. All right, so what are the exact products that we're talking about with our program, with our 30-day program? Arbonne has a special value pack that is available for you to come into this program. It is offered to you at a 40% discount, and you're not going to find any greater savings out there than this. And the reason that we do this is because we want to encourage you to really look at a nutritional transformation for your family, because it is so important for your health. So the products that are in the Arbonne Special Value Pack are Arbonne's protein powder, and you get 2 bags of protein powder, 1 chocolate and 1 vanilla. Again, Arbonne's protein is plant-based. It's pea, cranberry, and brown rice protein. It has 20 grams of vegan protein. There's no cholesterol, no lactose, no trans fats, no artificial sweeteners, no artificial colors or artificial flavors in Arbonne's protein powder. There's also a daily fiber boost. This fiber boost is odorless, colorless, and tasteless. And so we encourage you to add this to your protein smoothies in the morning, because it's going to make you feel fuller longer. It is and I know you've heard your doctors say, or you've heard on some other news, programs, that it is fiber that actually helps your body. Your body senses that it's full when you eat a high fiber diet. There's also fiber that keeps you regular and keeps you eliminating those toxins out of your body, through your digestive tract. So again, we want to help increase the amount of fiber in your diet. So we recommend the Daily Fiber Boost. Another product in this group is the Digestion Plus. The Digestion Plus is 11 digestive enzymes and patent probiotics and prebiotics. And I know everyone's heard about probiotics. It's one of the big nutritional ways that people, especially physicians and other health advocates, are moving toward, is that everybody needs to increase their consumption of probiotics. Arbonne has an excellent probiotic. And again, with our program, we're going to share with you how to consume this daily. That's going to help with your digestion. If you're a woman, women typically feel bloated. They have, tummy problems. And I could go on and on because, my husband, who is an OBGYN, he will tell you the most common complaint he gets in his office is a woman and her tummy. She doesn't go to the bathroom enough to eliminate, and she is bloated, and you all know that. And so by consuming probiotics every day, you're going to reduce that by a ton. So it's going to make you feel a lot better. Another product that's in this group is the Energy Fizz Sticks, and this is Arbonne's answer to it's what we want you to use instead of sodas, because we all know how bad sodas are for our bodies. And so Arbonne's Energy Fizz Sticks, they no artificial sweeteners, no high fructose corn syrup. It's green tea, ginseng, and some B vitamins. It has antioxidants and chromium in them. There's only 13 calories in the Fizz Sticks. And our Fizz Sticks, it promotes alertness and boosts energy. It's nothing like those energy drinks that are out there on the market today. And most of those energy drinks contain chemical stimulants. And again, like I said with Arbonne, all of our ingredients are pure, safe, and beneficial. You're not going to find any chemical stimulants. Everything that's in it that makes you feel good is, vitamins, minerals, things that are, that are natural, that are good for your body. In fact, my son comes home from school every day and will drink his Fizz Stick drink before he does his homework. So it gives him a little boost of energy and mental alertness to do his homework. Also in this group of products is the Herbal Detox Tea. And again, our bodies are subjected to so many toxins every day that we cannot control. And some of it comes from the food we eat. Some of it comes from the products that we put on our skin. And that's a whole nother topic that we will share with you information about if you join our 30 Days to Healthy Living program. But anyway, we need to help our body detoxify from all of the toxins. And so one of the ways you can do that is by drinking a cup of Herbal Detox Tea every day. And our detox tea, it contains a botanical called milk thistle. And what milk thistle does is it helps our livers create the hormone glutathione, which is our major detoxifying hormone in our body. And so again, we recommend that you drink a cup of detox tea every single day to just give your liver that boost to help detoxify your body. And then the last product in this group is the 7-Day Body Cleanse. And we want you to drink this during the first 7 days of our program. It helps to gently eliminate toxins from your body. One of the major ingredients in this particular product is also milk thistle. So again, it's going to give your liver a boost on detoxifying your body. But again, let me tell you, it's a gentle cleanse. It's not a colon cleanse. It's a full body cleanse. So if you drink it according to the directions, what's going to happen is just your following day, you're going to have a good bowel movement. You're not going to have to go to the bathroom really quickly after you drink it anyway. It's gentle, and it's just going to help you have better bowel movements, better elimination. All right. So, one of the questions that we get about this program is that, I don't know if I can afford it. Well, in all reality, we want to let you know, in the end, when all is said and done, we really cannot afford to change the way we eat. We cannot really afford not to do a nutritional transformation, if not for us as parents, but for our children, because our children are subjected longer to poor nutrition foods than we were. Because if you're my age, I'm not going to give away my age, but if you're my age and grew up back in the the 60s and 70s, food wasn't quite as chemical laden as it is today. And so we didn't get as many chemicals in our body early on as our children today do. And so it is so important, just so important for us to really start feeding our children real food, whole foods, foods that don't have a lot of chemical additives, because there are lots of things that we can't control, but we certainly can control the majority of the food that we consume. So again, the cost of buying fresh fruits, vegetables, countered by the reduction in spending that you're going to on meats and processed food, because remember, you're going to be eating mostly fruits, beans, nuts, and seeds, and vegetables, fruits, beans, nuts, and seeds, if I can say that right. And we're going to be eating less meat and less processed food. So really, your grocery bill is going to be about the same. You're just buying more of one thing and less of other things. And so again, it is I can't impress upon you enough about how important it is to transform your nutrition and your family's nutrition. And so this brings us to the end of our 30 Days to Healthy Living introduction about our program. We would love for you to join us to commit to 30 days to our challenge. Our challenge actually begins Monday, June 6th. And I would love for you to get back with this consultant that shared this webinar with you and let them know that you are ready to order your Arbonne Special Value Pack at a 40% discount. And not only are you going to get the Arbonne supplements for this 30-day to healthy living program, you're also going to get 4 weekly program guides, which we share through a private Facebook group. You're also going to get 40 plus densely nutritious recipes. And I really need to change that number, because I'm thinking right now there's over 100 recipes that we share on there. And then it's a live group that starts on June 6th. And so every day we are posting new information that we come across, information that we want to share with you, because knowledge is power. The more you know about good nutrition, the more equipped you're going to be to make better choices. And so in this Facebook group, we take you through 30 days of a nutritional transformation. We're going to walk you through it day by day, week by week. We're going to take pictures of the meals that we prepare. We want you to share pictures of the meals that you prepare. We want you to ask us questions. We have great back and forth conversations, and you will see us posting in there daily just information that's going to help you and your family make a nutritional transformation. So I just want to end with this fact. Diets begin and end. When you say you're going on a diet, you have a beginning date and an ending date. We call this a 30 Days to Healthy Living challenge, but when you finish our challenge, our wish for you, our goal for you, is for you to then live the rest of your life in the 80 to 90% zone, where you will continue to eat densely nutritious foods as 80% of what you take in every day. And with your children might not get to 80 to 90% right off the bat, but if you move them to the 50 to 70%, you've done a huge benefit to your children for them growing up in this day that is in today's society that is so saturated with artificial foods and chemicals, that they're subjected to. So again, I want to thank you so much for joining us on this live webinar. Get back with the consultant that invited you on here. Let them know that you're ready to start. And our live Facebook group will start on June 6th. So good night, everyone, and thank you so much.